My name is Joanne O'Riordan. I'm from Mill Street here in Cork. People might remember it from Eurovision '93 or a very famous fight between Chris Eubank and Steve Collins, depending on your political persuasion, I guess. So I'm 28 years old and I was born with a very rare disability known as total amelia, meaning I was born without all of my limbs. I was working with RT on the Paralympics in Tokyo and in Paris. I was also a sports columnist for the Irish Times, where I focused on women in sport. Some people may remember me from an infamous clash nearly 14 years ago, where I met former Taoiseach Enda Kenny when he was on the campaign trail to get Fine Gael into government in 2011, where I asked him what he was doing to protect people with disabilities if he got elected, and he replied, everything in his power.
Before the Christmas, in our budget presentation, we were not taking any money off people with a disability.
And sure enough, once budget 2011 came around, he made some cuts to payments, and I wrote a letter to the Irish Examiner saying how it was going to affect not just me, but I guess everyone like me in similar positions.
Okay, so we're going to go lift and hold, and we're going to hang for about 30 seconds, alright? Ready?
Yeah.
2, 1, lift and hold.
I guess being 28 is kind of funny because I think all my peers are probably the same position in the fact that, you know, we keep messaging each other saying we're sick of living through historical times and global pandemics and wars and inflation and everything in between. So I guess for me, probably at 28, I probably envisioned life that maybe I'd be like in an apartment in Cork, living independently. I have carers coming in 30 hours a week. And then my mom got a message from Revenue and Welfare saying that her carer's allowance was cut because they felt she wasn't caring for me anymore, that it was the girls who were coming in caring for me. So I don't know, I'd love to know what happens after 3 o'clock, what Welfare and Revenue think if I grow arms and legs. I mean, I'd love to if I was a werewolf, totally. So during the election, I suppose I wrote to government at the time, and they sent back, you know, manifestos. You know, Fianna Fáil got back with their manifesto. So all it just talked about was we're going to pump money into it, we're going to pump money into the sector. But money for what? Money for where? Like, there's no issue with, I'm not saying there's no issue with money. The money isn't the problem, it's how it's allocated. Then, you know, with the regional independents coming in, I wrote to them, you know, expressing the same issues, same concerns, same everything. It was the same response, you know, we'll fight for you, etc. My top 3 things, I guess, in terms of disability is, so because we still view it as a charity kind of point of view, so isn't she great, look at her go, I wish my child had the determination like you, you're so inspiring, you're so this, you're so that. For me, I think it's to turn that on its head. So how can we get people with disabilities more into society? And for me, that comes for, I guess, 3 different things. So first of all, I guess financial security is one of them. When I start my work, effectively, they're going to be reassessing whether I'm earning, you know, too much, and therefore my earnings overcome my disability, as if, I don't know, I can buy new limbs, I don't know. I would like it to be turned, rather than a welfare check, I guess, I'd rather it to be turned into like a universal basic income. So no matter what your disability is, no matter what your circumstances are, you get this amount of money. But our obsession is just cutting people off like cold turkey. The second thing for me is the carers compensation and the carers allowance in the scheme at the moment. I know they've already said that they're scrapping the means testing allowance, but it's too late for people like my mother. She has been scrapped. You know, other people like her have been scrapped. So is she going to be involved in a scheme where she's allowed back in? Is she going to be allowed back in at a reduced rate? I guess the third thing would be to make the independent living packages more suitable if people can make decisions for themselves. I think with the last successive governments, there have been successes and there have been failures at the same time. I think there's a lot of success in terms of, I've noticed like there's a lot more grants and physical accessibility is there. But I think in terms of making people with disabilities more independent, absolutely not. There's been a lot of failures in that regard. If you take even the North Cork area alone, which is, you know, where I get the care package from, there's been an increase in the demand for the service, but the hours haven't changed in, I think, 20 years. The reason why people with disabilities are just so fed up is because we feel like we're on our own, doing our own thing, and we have to strive to get through life on our own. A lot of us rely on family, friends, immediate people around us to look after us, when that shouldn't be the case. A lot of us, you know, feel like a burden, I think most of the time, you know, to our caregivers, to whoever it may be. And I think all we kind of want at the end of the day is to be recognised as someone who can be valuable to society, who can do whatever we want to do if we are given the right supports to do so. But it's constant knockbacks, it's constant no's, it's constant knocking on this door to be referred to that door, to be referred back to the door you were before, for the person before to be like, no, I don't think that's going to work for you. And also the ability of, I want to be able to live in Cork next to my where I work. I want to be able to go out with fellow solicitors when we win a big case and we're like, woohoo. I don't want to be stuck in a 30-hour window. It's the constant no, the feeling like a burden, and most importantly, just the anxiety and the sense of dread that if you put a toe out of line, someone's going to be like, no, you're not getting that service anymore. But my dream life is that I'm no longer reliant on my family anymore. I'm able to do the things that I want to do, go to work, walk my dog, go to the gym, go do yoga, do Pilates, take up something new, go contribute back to my local GA club, whatever it may be, and just be able to get up and live like a normal, everyday person and not have to worry about red tape, not have to worry about lifts, not have to worry about backs being put out, and not having to worry about services being cut.